Star Trek. The Next Generation is still the only classic show to have a complete reunion in the franchise's modern age. But Star Trek Voyager is just one character comeback away from achieving something very similar. Although it would be exciting for modern Star Trek to complete its Voyager lineup, the Skyfi saga will probably never repeat what it did for Patrick Stewart's Jean-Luc Picard and the rest of the USS Enterprise's crew when they were all invited back to reunite as part of the Star Trek Picard cast. Instead, Voyager's crew will need to settle for something close. All the classic Star Trek TV shows have an ensemble cast, and although various characters do occasionally reunite at other points in the timeline, everyone rarely gets to be on screen together again once a show ends. However, members of the Star Trek Voyager cast have been receiving quite a lot of attention of late, with almost every main star now having come back to the franchise in some way. All it'll take is one more actor to reprise their Voyager role in the modern era, and it'll be a piecemeal full set. Roxann Dawson played Chief Engineer B'Elanna Torres in all Season 7s of Star Trek Voyager, but she hasn't reprised her role as the Klingon/hybrid since the show's finale in 2001. This may not seem like a significant piece of information in isolation, but when it's considered that all other members of the main cast have come back to the franchise in the post-Star Trek Discovery era, B'Elanna's absence sticks out a fair bit. Although there is the argument that Jennifer Lyons-Kez would also be needed to complete the crew, she was replaced mid-run and hasn't acted since 2001. The first to return was Jeri Ryan in 2020 as 7 of 9 in Star Trek Picard. Tim Russ also briefly joined Ryan in the Picard cast as Tuvok. The Star Trek Prodigy cast boasts the most Voyager comebacks, with Kate Mulgrew's Admiral Janeway, Robert Beltran's Captain Chakotay, and Robert Picardo as the Doctor. Star Trek Lower Decks gave a guest spot to Robert Duncan McNeil as Tom Paris, and also allowed Garrett Wang to come back as several versions of Harry Kim. Ethan Phillips also revisited Neelix in a very short Treks episode called Holograms All the Way Down. Most of the original Star Trek Voyager cast is still actively working as actors, but this isn't the case for Dawson. Her last acting credit was in 2011, and since then, she has transitioned exclusively into behind-the-scenes roles within the industry. She has primarily been directing since stepping away from acting, and has worked on huge projects such as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., House of Cards, and Apple TV Plus Sky-Fi shows like Foundation and Dark Matter. Despite her career shift, there is still hope that she may eventually return as B'Elanna. Just like his Star Trek Voyager co-star, Robert Duncan McNeil has also largely retired from acting. Also like Dawson, his priority has been on directing and producing. Most recently, his focus has been on the Alan Tudyk-led Sky-Fi dramedy, Resident Alien. And before his cameos in Star Trek Lower Decks, he hadn't acted since an episode of Chuck in 2012, a show in which he was also working behind the scenes. So although a Star Trek The Next Generation style reunion may be very unlikely for Star Trek Voyager, a surprise comeback from Dawson could still provide the next best thing.